Welcome to yet another class on special class on Srila Prabhupada. So let's begin our class with the prayers. Offering prayers to Srila Prabhupada. I offer my respects to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna. Co-spiritual master, I offer my respects to you. You are servant of your Guru Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries. Panchtattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauri Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So before I begin, just two quick announcements. So if Ila Mataji is there, last week she had requested for address of the New York temple. I have sent it to her on WhatsApp group and also on her personal group, and also sent her the temple timings so she can visit accordingly. And second is that since this entire month we are celebrating as Gita Jayanti, so after the class I will share the link. So whosoever can please donate to the temple. With your money, we will be able to provide Bhagavad Gita to those people who cannot afford to buy, the poor people who cannot afford to buy Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam or any of Srila Prabhupada books, which people want to read, but they find it very expensive. So if you can donate, this is a very auspicious month for donating money for Bhagavad Gita. So I will share the QR code and the bank details. Kindly send in your money and let me know who has, in a personal window, you can let me know who has sent how much money so that, we can keep a track. So thank you so much. And now we'll begin our class. So are you all enjoying the class on Srila Prabhupada? Are you finding it interesting? Thank you so much. So last class we had covered that how Prabhupada has finally found a place, and it's a kind of a small shop and with a big glass window and a small door, and Prabhupada has started taking his classes and things are going very, very positive. So let's begin our class from there. As usual, one day Prabhupada was taking a class in that small uh, storefront. Basically, it was a small store and which was now converted into a temple. So one day when Prabhupada was usually taking a class, suddenly a person from, you remember a place, a very uh, poor condition place Prabhupada was living in, where one drug addict trying to, challenge him and trying to kill him. You remember that from last class? And Prabhupada had to run away from that place. So one person, while Prabhupada is taking class in this new place, one person, he was drunk and he visits, this new place where Prabhupada is converting into a temple. And he was drunk, he was whistling, he was shouting, and there was a small audience. There were small youngsters who were very regular in the class, and they were all sitting there, and they were also shocked and surprised. They didn't know what to do about it. So the drunkard, he enters and he tells Prabhupada, okay, how are you? And and he said, okay. He enters and he says, I'll come back again, be right back. So Prabhupada warns him and he very silently says, don't disturb. Sit down, we are talking very seriously. So Prabhupada slightly scolds him. So he says, okay, okay, I will come back. I have brought something. So Prabhupada starts, starts smiling, slight laughter he has on his face, and then he continues his lecture immediately. So then this person, Prabhupada is lecturing that how a person who is in Krishna consciousness and if he chants Hare Krishna, if he reads Bhagavad Gita, then we should think that person is a saintly person, that his person is very pious person. So it doesn't matter if that person has some bad qualities or he's having some bad association, but some way or the other, if that one should try to become Krishna conscious. So then that person will slowly become like a saint. So this is what Prabhupada is giving a lecture in the class. Now suddenly this drunkard comes back again. And you know what he brings? He is bringing toilet tissue rolls, toilet tissue paper. Have you understood that? Shall I show some image of toilet tissue paper?
I think they understood, Madhuri. Yeah, yeah, understood. Hello, Mataji?
I'll share the image.
Yeah, photo, Mataji, maybe photo you could.
Okay, so here it goes. People can see. Understood? Okay. So this person comes and he brings lot of tissue papers. And he doesn't sit there in the class. He goes straight back of the temple where Prabhupada is sitting and he opens the toilet room door and he put two rolls of bathroom tissue inside. Then he closes the door and then he goes out to the sink area where people wash hands. And then he puts two more tissue paper on that bathroom, on that sink area. And then he stands, turns around towards Prabhupada and the audience, and everybody's silent. Prabhupada stops speaking. Everybody's seeing what this person is doing. So he's very busy, keeping toilet paper, toilet tissue roll in the bathroom and in the sink area. When the class is silent, Prabhupada is also not talking. He then stands, turns around towards Prabhupada, and Prabhupada asks him, "What is this?" But now this drunk person, he's silent and he's done his work and he leaves. He doesn't wait. So Prabhupada starts laughing and he thanks the visitor and he says, Thank you very much for your service. So that was a very, very interesting thing that I found. So then, when this drunkard person leaves, Prabhupada says, see, it is so natural to give some service. This serving somebody, it comes so naturally. This person who came, he's a drunkard. He's not even in his proper mind. His senses are not there working. But he feels that, I want to do some service. So Prabhupada, he's trying to make people understand that serving others comes so naturally to us. Like all of you at your home or office or in public places, you want to give some service to somebody, right? You want to give some prasad or you want to help somebody. So that when somebody is in Krishna conscious, there also the service attitude comes very naturally. So in all this, Prabhupada is calm, composed. He did not get angry that, how come it's a temple and how come some person who's drunk is entering the class. Nothing happened. Prabhupada was sitting all composed. And all the young men who were sitting in the audience, who were attending the class, they were also surprised. And they thought how cool, how calm was Prabhupada. He was smiling all the way. He was not afraid of anything. And he is simply talking about his philosophy that how, we all can become saint. We all can become good person. And even this drunkard who came can also become a saintly person. So that is the power of Prabhupada, that he did not differentiate between, he did not think that, oh, this person is pious, so I should give him class, I should give more attention to him. Even a person who's drunkard, even a person who's on drugs, Prabhupada would treat him with so much of love and affection. So moving on to next thing. So after the class, Prabhupada, so nothing much was happening because Prabhupada was not cooking so elaborately. So simply he cuts an apple and offers it, and he distributes to as a prasad, as he distribute to all the people who were sitting in the class. Next, from the book, we understand that this only after so much was happening that Prabhupada actually gave name to this entire organization as ISKCON. Okay, so it's only settling down in that place, and he started giving lecture that Prabhupada thought about this name of ISKCON, International Society of Krishna Consciousness, and he announced, yes, now this is the time, and now we will call our society, our organization as ISKCON. So this is how the word ISKCON originated. This all has come from Prabhupada. And when this name was formed, Prabhupada gave 7 purpose of ISKCON. So, like
Mataji,
every organization
names and
has
the
purpose,
phrases,
has
no?
some kind of a rules and regulations, and they have some
You could put the
ideology, they have
names and the
some
phrases in the chat.
concept. Okay, I will work on this idea.
Mataji,
Okay,
Mataji,
so
Mataji,
similarly,
Mataji,
ISKCON
check,
also
check.
has
Mataji,
7 purpose, which
Mataji,
we all as devotees should try
Mataji,
to remember,
Mataji,
because
Mataji,
what happened?
Mataji, can you hear me? Check, check, check.
Can you
Mataji,
hear me, Saurabh?
can you hear me? I'm trying to say something.
I'm not able to hear you. Are you able to hear me? So I'm just sorting out this audio issue. Just give me a minute. Huh? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you,
great. I think the setting volume was very low. Thank you.
no problem. Mataji, these words, no? ISKCON, International Society of Krishna
Yes,
Consciousness.
I'll type. I'll type. Yes, sorry. Okay, so there are 7 purposes. So I'll try to shorten them and make them as clear as possible. So 7 purposes of ISKCON. So first is Prabhupada established that we should systematically spread spiritual knowledge and educate people on techniques of spiritual life. And in order to check values of life and promote global unity and peace. So that is first purpose. Second purpose is spread consciousness of Krishna as explained in Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Third, unite society members and bring them closer to Krishna and convince them that everyone is a soul, all of us are soul and we are all part of Krishna. So this is third purpose, that we should unite everybody and bring them closer to Krishna. You can mute them all. So I think somebody is speaking. Okay. Done. Okay. So fourth purpose is to teach and encourage chanting of holy name of God as explained in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And then fifth, to construct sacred place like a temple for all these spiritual activities. And these activities should be dedicated to Krishna for both members and society, the entire society. So basically, we should come together at a place which is made as a temple, and all the activities should be dedicated to Krishna so that all the members and society can benefit out of it. Sixth point, to bring members close together for the purpose of teaching a simple and more natural way of life. So Prabhupada always talked about simple living, high thinking. How we should lead a very simple life. So that is why one of the purpose of ISKCON is that we should try to bring all the members, all the devotees close together so that we can spread this teaching that we all should have a simple and natural way of life. And lastly, we should publish and distribute magazine, books, and other writings to achieve these purposes. So, like this month, devotees are so busy in book distribution. So, actually, it is in the seventh purpose that we are reading. We see that how Prabhupada wanted that all the devotees should work in distributing Prabhupada books. So that is why this month is so important. So today I got the message from Kala that how she had gone to the temple and she was giving a service of Gita distribution. So I'll quickly share her picture that she shared with me, that she went to the temple and she was helping in book distribution. So thank you, Kala, for your service. Prabhupada would be really happy and would be blessing you for your service. Okay, so these are the seven purposes which were established by Prabhupada, and even now devotees should take care in establishing, in continuing these, that we should practice these purpose of ISKCON and we should not deviate from them. Right? So let's continue. So Prabhupada actually, even when he was just living in that he had one small room which was called a temple, and he would live somewhere backside in an apartment in a single room. Even at that time, Prabhupada's vision was so great. I mean, he knew that there would come a time that we will have many, many temples and we'll have many, many books. So even when a time when there was nothing, when Prabhupada had no money, he had no disciples. Even at that time, Prabhupada had this vision, beautiful vision, that there would come a time when ISKCON will be so great that there would be hundreds of temples all around the world, and there will be hundreds and thousands and millions of devotees who would join in. So that kind of vision Prabhupada had even at that time. He never thought very small things. He always had very big vision. And he wanted ISKCON to have a very simple, more natural way of life. As I just mentioned in the purpose, he was very fond of village life. He said life like villages have in India, where people live just as having a cow and a small house. So that kind of life Prabhupada liked. He said because in simple village kind of life, people are very close in practicing Krishna consciousness because there's not so much of glamour, there's not so much of material life. In village life, people are simple. And so, this kind of life, Prabhupada always used to preach about because Krishna himself, if you noticed in books and read about Krishna, Krishna himself was a boy who was living in a village and who had many cows at home. So that is why Prabhupada always preached about having a simple and natural way of life. So there was a follower of Prabhupada, and I'll just type out his name. His name was Keith, and he was a very serious follower of Prabhupada. He would try to bring flowers for Srila Prabhupada, and he also became a cook and housekeeper in Prabhupada's apartment. He also would accompany Prabhupada in shopping and cooking. Prabhupada also taught him how to make chapatis, dal, rice. sabzi. So when Prabhupada went there, he never used to eat all those fast food kind of things. He would always cook himself. So he taught Keith how to. So this person Keith was a very very serious disciple of Prabhupada. So as we learned in the last class that the place was a simple store, but people already started calling it a temple. So they were very young boys and girls who thought that such a long time Swamiji is taking classes, but this place is so simple. So what they did, they started getting ideas of decorating the place. So somebody went to his home, he brought all the curtains, got them cleaned, and put it in the room. Somebody got some paintings, somebody got some incense, like that agarbatti, an agarbatti stand. And there was a boy called James, and James made a painting of Radha Krishna. So this inspiration he got from Prabhupada because Prabhupada gave him, a cover book, Bhagavatam cover, and he said, "This is Radha Krishna, and you try to copy this and you try to paint it." So like this, all these boys were so nice, and above all, they made a small wooden platform for Prabhupada to sit and covered it with a nice cloth. And then somebody got a painting of Hanuman. I mean, they were not aware who Hanuman is. Another person got a painting of a person, who had six hands. So I'll share all these images with you. So they were not aware who these people are. I mean, somebody visited India and they picked up these paintings. They thought it is some religious painting, so let us pick them up. And they thought Hanuman was some cat. And imagine, they are very, very dedicated to Prabhupada. They have so much of love and affection for Prabhupada that they're trying to please him. And somebody is getting curtains, somebody is getting making a platform for him to sit, somebody is getting a painting. So in different ways, although they had no knowledge of God, although they had no information about Hindu gods, yet they were trying their best to make Prabhupada happy. So, and all this decoration and all was kept a secret, and they wanted to surprise Prabhupada. So next day when Prabhupada came, when he entered this small room where he would preach, he smiled and he was so happy that the room was decorated. And he just commented that all of you are progressing in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada looked at his followers. He was so moved by their offering that they had given him a seat of honor, and they're trying to decorate Krishna's small room. So Prabhupada said that, to see a devotee making an offering to Krishna was not new in India. But same thing in New York, which was such a horrible place. It is definitely, I'm touched by everybody's effort, and this is definitely Krishna's mercy. And then when he was looking at the paintings, he said, "Tomorrow I will come and tell you which painting is good and which painting is bad, or which painting we need and which painting we don't need," because they are not aware. They put up everything. So next day, Prabhupada comes and, he started uh, very carefully looking at all the artwork. And all these people, their names I'll type. These are the very initial devotees of Prabhupada, disciples of Prabhupada. So they were like small children, they were all grown up men. But in front of Prabhupada, they were following him. They were, like small children. How small children have so much of affection towards elders, to their parents, and how much they want to please their elders. Small children, they want to make their parents, they want to make their teachers happy. Similarly, these grown up men who were earlier on drugs, they have changed so much. They are now trying to please Prabhupada by decorating the place. So I'll quickly share the pictures which, one I told you that was a six-armed person, right? So here is the six-armed person, which they brought. It's not the same painting, but I mean, not the painting which is in New York, but I mean, it's the same thing, concept-wise. So they are not aware who this person is. They think it is some religious person. So when Prabhupada looks at that picture, he was really very happy. So let's look at the picture.
Mataji, I'll get my laptop back charger. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So in two hands, Lord depicts that he's Lord Ram with a bow and arrow. In two hands, we see that he's Krishna, and in the other two hands, we see that Lord is a sannyasi, which means he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his, a danda and kamandal. I'll just type it. Danda is like a stick which is carried by a sannyasi, and kamandala is a kind of a lota. I don't know what you call it, pot. So the lowest hand, if you see, he's carrying a dand and kamandal. So that is carried by a sannyasi person who has given up all family life. So that is how Mahaprabhu was. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the sannyasi. So in one picture, you see all the three incarnations. You see Ram, you see Krishna, and you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that picture Prabhupada really liked, and he explained that how uh, Mahaprabhu is everything. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, Mahaprabhu is Ram, and he is also come as a devotee. And when they looked at Hanuman, they said, "Is it a cat?" So Prabhupada said, "No, no, this is a monkey. He is actually a great devotee of Lord Ram, and he served Lord Ram when Lord incarnated." So basically, Prabhupada was very happy, and he felt that till now I was all alone, struggling, and now Krishna was sending such sincere men, and they were cooking, hearing, and chanting Hare Krishna and helping him. And now has the time that they all started considering him as his guru. So Prabhupada's journey was still not very easy. He was still getting people who were challenging him on the philosophy. And daily people will come and they would fight that what are you teaching, this, that. Because a lot of, you remember there was one Dr. Mishra who was preaching some other philosophy. Yeah. So similarly, he had many challenges. Even in that, we should not think that it's all settled. Yet Prabhupada was standing like a rock and defending Krishna and Krishna consciousness. He was continuing to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would sit and work on translating Srimad Bhagavatam. And this boy, Keith, and Prabhupada would cook together. So Prabhupada was training him simultaneously. And slowly we see that how free distribution of prasad started. Many people would come and eat. And Prabhupada, like an affectionate father, affectionate mother, he would force them to eat more and more. If somebody is not eating properly, Prabhupada would, point that person. He said, "Why are you not eating properly? Eat lot of food." And all that food was personally cooked by either Keith or Prabhupada. And another interesting thing was gulab jamun. We all know gulab jamun. So in ISKCON, we call it gulab jamun as ISKCON bullets. You know bullets that is there in the gun. So this was a term which was given by Prabhupada, that how gulab jamuns are ISKCON bullet. Why? Because they would enter into the heart and change the heart of a person. This prasad, this gulab jamun will change the heart and the person will become a devotee. And Prabhupada taught that prasada means mercy. And he called every time people will come that it is not normal. It's like how we call it party, right? So Prabhupada would call that prasad, it is a love feast. And then we see that how Prabhupada started giving Diksha, and even these beads that you see nowadays. Now, though we go to temple and pick up the beads. In those days, Prabhupada told him to get wooden beads from some store, and he told him how to put the beads in the rope. Put a knot, a next bead, put a knot, a next bead. So he taught them how to make their own beads. Because after Dikshan, they all have to chant on their beads, right? So these are some of the names. Those who can read, they can see that how these are all the initial disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And Howard became higher grade. So these are the names, because after Diksha, the names change. For example, my name is Alka, but my Diksha name is Anuttama. So similarly, Prabhupada changed their names, and this is a
Sorry,
list.
Mataji, what is your name again?
My name is Alka, and after Diksha, my Guru Maharaj gave me the name as Anuttama. So similarly, these are the names of the people, who got initiated by Prabhupada. These are the very early disciples. And then later, Prabhupada also performed a marriage ceremony. So this was between Mukunda and Janaki. So this Mukunda and Janaki is their Diksha name. Otherwise, they were called Michael and Jan. So, and then came a very interesting event. Prabhupada went to a place called Tompkins Square Park. So this is a place, right now also this is a place, it's a big park in New York. And Prabhupada performed his first big kirtan in this park. And hundreds of people joined, hundreds of people who had no idea about Krishna. Prabhupada went with his disciples and he made a big kirtan in the place. So after the class, while we are ending, I'll share the video of this class. And in the park, he taught that how everyone is a soul and all people across the world should become Krishna conscious, no matter which country you are belong to, which society you belong to, whether you are rich or poor. So slowly, this movement started by Prabhupada was becoming very popular. Regular kirtans were happening in the park. The classes used to be packed. It was crowded classes. People would just come in and want to listen to Prabhupada, and they were getting newspaper coverage. So Prabhupada, he very important thing that he taught in American society is about illicit sex. Because in America, having sex with other people is very common. In India, still we get married and we just have one single partner. But in America, people don't follow all those rules. So Prabhupada was very strict. And a lot of people were anti-Prabhupada because they said, how is it possible, He said, I cannot change my rules because for America. Shastras teach that you should have wife and you should have sex only to have children. So whether someone accepted or not accepted, but Prabhupada would never change his rules to please American society. So we're almost at the end of this class, and let me share that how from inside that place looks now, that small storefront, and that place, that small room where Prabhupada used to take classes. We saw that store in the last class, Matchless Gift was written. So now we look at it from inside. There is a video. Thank you. Okay, let's start. So I'll just share this picture first and then the video. So first picture is from the outside and then we'll go inside. One second. It's not closing. Can people see? It's not zooming in big.
It's zoomed now, Mat.
Yeah, I mean, the older picture is open. The current one is not getting. When I expand it, the older picture is visible. One second. Oh. No, I think it is understandable like this, no? We saw it last class also. Something it's getting stuck, I think.
Yeah, they're saying they saw it before as well, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll have a look at the video now. Sorry, I think it got closed. One second. Yeah, so this is the inside of that small place where Prabhupada would sit and preach. A very small room actually. This was the first ISKCON temple, if you can think about it. And now we will go and have a look at this Tompkins Square, where Prabhupada did his first kirtan in New York. And you see that what kind of people are there. They're all hippies and they have no knowledge about Krishna, and yet they are dancing and they're singing to Prabhupada. And many of them became followers of Prabhupada and joined ISKCON. So let's have a look. We might not be able to have our question answers today. I think we might do it next Sunday. So please bear with it today. Is it okay if you don't have question answers today? Okay,
I-
fine. So we'll start with, yes, so you all had a look at that. So this was Prabhupada in his very earlier days when ISKCON had just got formed, and he was just in that small room that you had a look just now. So that was the only ISKCON at that time. There was no other ISKCON, no temple, and no devotees. Prabhupada was all alone. In fact, I've already read this book actually once, but for telling you, for teaching all of you, when I'm reading it all over again, it's a big book. Many times I actually have tears in my eyes when I'm reading about Prabhupada. The way he's struggling, he's all alone in a new country where he has no relatives, no friends, totally depending on Krishna's mercy. There are so many places I actually personally cried reading about Prabhupada. So, you know, it is such an inspiring life. Prabhupada's life is so inspiring for all of us, all of you who are sincerely chanting, sincerely trying to become Krishna conscious. It is very important to understand the life of Prabhupada, his struggles. And when we see that struggle, when we see that how much hard work he has put in, and for what? He didn't get all that money. Now, ISKCON is considered to be a very rich temple, but not those days. I mean, Prabhupada never expected all that money. His only dream was to make people Krishna conscious, to make people aware that we are soul and we should not just continue suffering in this material world. So that was his only intention. And that by Krishna's mercy, Krishna keep on sending nice people who joined Prabhupada. And now today ISKCON is such a big organization. But the purpose of taking this class, especially on Prabhupada, was to make you all aware that what ISKCON is today, there was nothing when Prabhupada had started. It was zero and no help from India. He did it all alone, right? So thank you so much for joining. I'll try to finish the book in another maybe 2 to 3 classes. And I'm trying to get you the juice, the extract, the best, because it's very difficult to cover page, line by line. But I can give you the essence of that book. So thank you very much for joining, and let's chant for Kala Mataji for her services in ISKCON Chennai. Let's chant 3 times for Kala because she is very dedicated in her service. I pray that all of you become so dedicated in your service to Prabhupada and whatever little service that you can do, like how that drunkard, brought tissue paper in the temple. So all of you should try to give some service for Krishna. Okay? Whatever is possible. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can spotlight Kala. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Kala. Thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Saurav, for joining. I hope you all are enjoying this wonderful class. And learning and taking inspiration from Prabhupada. So sorry, today we won't be able to do question answers. So next week, we'll try our best possible to conduct the question answers. Huh? So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Rasarati.